Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 14, Text 21. Tam sarvalokamarayagya sangraham
Tam sarvalokamarayagna sangraham
Trayimayam dravyamayam tapomayam
Trayimayam dravyatmayam tapomayam
Yagyer vichitre yachato bhavayate
Yagnir vichitre yajato bhavayate
Rajan swadeshan anurodham arhasi.
Rajan swadeshan anurodham arhasi.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dear King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with the predominating deities, is the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices in all planets. The Supreme Lord is the sum total of the three Vedas, the owner of everything, and the ultimate goal of all austerity. Therefore, your countrymen should engage in performing various sacrifices for your elevation. Indeed, you should always direct them towards the offering of the sacrifices. So, in such a clear way, the sages are giving him all the knowledge that the Supreme Lord, He's the controller, everything comes from Him, He's the enjoyer of all results. Krishna Himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrachati. That Krishna is all the planets, all the demigods belongs to him. He's the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices. Also the Bhagavatam says, Vasudeva Param Yagya Vasudeva Param Veda, all knowledge is Krishna. All austerities are meant for satisfaction of Krishna. So the entire knowledge the sages are giving to the king, in such a concise and clear manner. And then we can see that Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, nothing is contradictory. What the sages are saying, Krishna is saying the same thing in Bhagavad Gita. All the Vedas are saying the same thing, that Ishvara Parama Krishna, everything is coming from Krishna. Yagnena yusmat vishayed vijita dvijatibhir
Yagnena yusmad vishaye dvijatibir
Vitayamanena sura kalahare
Vitayamanena hare
Shrishta sutushta pradishanti vanchitam
Svishta sutushta
सुतुष्टा
pradishanti
प्रतिशन्ति वाञ्छितम्
Tadthelanam nadhasi virachestitam.
Tattelanam
न
narhasi
अर्हसि
virachestitam.
When all the Brahmanas engage in performing sacrifices in your kingdom, all the demigods, who are plenary expansions of the Lord, will be very much satisfied by the activities and will give you your desired result. Therefore, O hero, do not stop the sacrificial performances. If you stop them, you will disrespect the demigods. So the sages are also pointing out the position of the demigods. They are first saying that all sacrifices are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And because the Lord is satisfied, then the demigods, who are, it's written here, plenary expansions of the Lord. So the demigods, we can see they are not God Himself, but they are parts and parcels of God. And so when Krishna is satisfied, all the demigods are also satisfied. So the sages are encouraging King Vena to continue with the sacrifices. Vena Vacha
Vena Uvacha
Balisha Bata Yuyamba
Balisha Vatayuyamba
Adharme Dharma Maninaha
Adharme Dharma Manina
Ye Vritedam Patim Hitva
Ye
Vratilam
Patim
patim
Hitva
Jaram Patim Upasate.
jaram
Jaram
patim
Patim
upasate.
Upasate.
King Vena replied, "You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you're maintaining something which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. Indeed, I think you're giving up your real husband who maintains you and are searching after some paramour to worship." King Vena was so foolish that he accused the saintly sages of being inexperienced like small children. In other words, he was accusing them of not having perfect knowledge. In this way, he could reject their advice and make accusations against them, comparing them to a woman who does not care for her husband, who maintains her, but goes to satisfy a paramour who does not maintain her. So here, because Vena does not want to listen to the advice of the sages, he's just telling them that you don't know what you're talking. We may say something, we may also sometimes say that because we don't want to agree to whatever good advice we are getting. We may say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. So Vena is doing that here. The purpose of this simile is apparent. It is the duty of the Kshatriyas to engage the Brahmanas in different types of religious activities. And the king is supposed to be the maintainer of the Brahmanas. If the Brahmanas do not worship the king, but instead go to the demigods, they are as polluted as unchaste women. Now, of course, here, because the king is supposed to be righteous, he's supposed to maintain the Brahmanas. And that's the reason the Brahmanas also understand that they are being maintained by the king. So that's why now Vena is using this to twist the situation in his favor. Avajananti amimudha
Avajananti
Avajayanti
amimudha
Amimuda
nriparupinam ishwaram
nriparupinam
Nriparupinam
Ishwaram
Ishwaram
nanu vindanti te bhadram
Nanu
anuvindanti
Vindanti
te
Te
bhadram
Bhadram
iha loke paratracha.
Iha
iha
Loke
loke
Paratracha.
paratrascha.
Those who, out of gross ignorance, do not worship the king, who is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, experience happiness neither in this world nor in the world after death. So he is now giving his version. Well, the king is supposed to be the representative of God. He's not God, but he's representative of God. And so he's supposed to take care of the citizens in such a way. But surely Vena was not doing that. Ko yajna purusho nama
Ko yajno
Yajna
purusho
Purusho
nama
Nama
yatra vo bhaktir idrishe
yatvo
Yatvo
bhakti
Bhaktir
idrishi
Idrishi
bhartr sneha viduranam
Bharatri Sneha
bhartasneha viduranam
Viduranam
yatha jare kuyoshitam.
Yatha
yatharve
Jare
yoshitam.
Kushitam.
Sneha, I just heard your name. Anyways, you are so much devoted to the demigods. But who are they? Indeed, your affection for these demigods is exactly like the affection of an unchaste woman who neglects her married life and gives all attention to her paramour. So he's like now competing against God. Vena is thinking he's God, and so, he's in fact accusing the sages. Vishnur
So
Virincho Girisha
Vishnu Virancha Girisha.
Isha.
Indro Vayuryamo Ravihe.
Indro
Indro
Vayuryamo
Ravi.
Ravi.
Parajanyo Nada Soma.
Parjanyo
Parjanyodananda
Nanda
Soma.
Somaha.
Shitir Agnir Apam Pate.
Shritir Agnir
Shritir Apam
Pampati.
Pati.
Ete Chanye Cha Vibhuda.
Ete
Ete
Chane
Chanecha
Cha
Vibhuda.
Vibhuta.
Prabhavo Varashapayo.
Prabhavo
Prabhavo Varo Shapayo.
Varashapayo.
Dehe Bhavanti Nripate.
Dehe
Dehe
Bhavanti
Bhavanti
Nripate.
Nirpate.
Sarva Deva Mayo Nripaha.
Sarvadeva
Sarvadeva
Mayo
Mayo
Nripaha.
Nirpaha.
Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, the master of air, Yama, the superintendent of death, the sun god, the director of rainfall, Kuvera, the treasurer, the moon god, the predominating deity of the earth, Agni, the fire god, Varuna, the lord of waters, and all others who are great and competent to bestow benedictions or to curse, all abide in the body of the king. For this reason, the king is known as the reservoir of all demigods, who are simply parts and parcels of the king's body. So now he's become like a direct competitor to Krishna. Yeah. There are many demons who think of themselves as the supreme and present themselves as the directors of the sun, moon, and other planets. This is all due to false pride. So we see, of course, Hiranyakashipu, he was controlling the demigods. Indra was so afraid of him that he left his kingdom. Many times the demons would get so powerful that Indra would be thrown out of his kingdom. So sure, there are sometimes some demons who control the demigods, but thinking that we have become God because of that, then that is demoniac nature. And exactly to correct that, we have come here to the material world because we have that. Vena might have it to a very great degree. Some of us may have it to a smaller degree or to even greater degree. But we are thinking we are God. We are competitors to Krishna. And so Krishna puts us here in the material world to understand our real position, that we are not God, we are not Krishna, we are not his competition, but in fact, we have a loving, very, very loving, sweet relationship with him. We have given up that sweet, loving relationship and we are wanting to get power and control. That's what we have done. And to make us understand, Krishna puts us here in this material world. So false pride. Similarly, King Vena developed the demoniac mentality and presented himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such demons are numerous in this age of Kali, and all of them are condemned by great sages and saintly persons. So in this Kali, the demon and the demigod both stay in our body. We may have some demoniac tendencies, we may have some devotee tendencies. Both of them are in our body. But the more we hear and chant, the more we can let go of our demoniac tendencies and revive our natural relationship with Krishna. Be situated in our real position of the soul. Tasman mam karma bhir vipra.
Tasman
Karmabhi Vipra.
Yajadvam gatam matsara.
Yajadvam Gata
Gata
Matsara.
Malincha mayam harata.
Balimcha
Balincha
Mayam Harata.
Harata.
Mato anya ko grabhupama.
Mato
Mato
Anya
Anya
Ko
Ko
Agrapuman.
Agrapuman.
King Vena continued, for this reason, O Brahmanas, you should abandon your envy of me, and by your ritualistic activities, you should worship me and offer me all paraphernalia. If you are intelligent, you should know that there is no personality superior to me who can accept the first oblations of all sacrifices. So he's really, really thinking he's Krishna, because all sacrifices are meant for Vishnu. And this is our position. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that all entities are put into this delusion because of desire and hate. Our desire to be God and our envy that why is God God? Why am I not God? That's why we keep on endeavoring so much. And that endeavor, Krishna calls it in the Bhagavad Gita as karshati. Karshati, the struggle for existence, the hard struggle, because we are trying so hard to show that we are God, to show we are the controller, to prove to ourselves or to others that actually we are the controller. So as stated by Krishna himself throughout Bhagavad Gita, there is no truth superior to him. Mataparataram nanyat, Krishna says in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There is no truth superior to him. The absolute truth is Krishna. In life, we have so many relative truths. The COVID is a truth. It's a truth for us. But the generation, say 100 years ago, they never heard of COVID. Maybe they heard of Spanish flu. I don't know when was that. But anyway, to make the point that here what we go through is a relative truth. It changes with time, place, and circumstance. But Krishna, he's the absolute truth. There is nothing, no one superior to Krishna. King Vena was imitating the Supreme Personality of Godhead and was also speaking out of false pride, presenting himself as the Supreme Lord. These are all characteristics of a demoniac person. Maitreya Vachan.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Itham viparyayamatihi.
Itam viparyayamati.
Papiyan utpatham gataha.
Papiyan utpatam gataha.
Anunima nastad yajnam.
Anuniyam satyajma
Na chakre bhrashta mangala.
na
Na chakre bhrashta mangalam.
The great sage Maitreya continued, thus the king, who became unintelligent due to his sinful life and deviation from the right path, became actually bereft of all good fortune. He could not accept the requests of the great sages, which the sages put before him with great respect, and therefore he was condemned. The demons certainly cannot have any faith in the words of authorities. In fact, they are always disrespectful to authorities. They manufacture their own religious principles and disobey great personalities like Vyas, Narad, and even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Yeah, this is our position in the Kali Yuga. We don't have faith in the scriptures. We don't have faith. And the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself is speaking, Mataparataramna. There is no truth superior to. He's saying, everything is emanating from me. I'm the super soul. He's saying all intelligence is coming from me. The Brahman is coming from me. I'm maintaining the spiritual world, the material world. Krishna is saying all these things, but do we have faith in his words? This is our position in the Kali Yuga. And all the great authorities also declare boldly that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Authorities like Vyasa, Narad, Asita, Devala, they all proclaim Krishna as God. As soon as one disobeys authority, he immediately becomes very sinful. and loses his good fortune. The king was so puffed up and impudent that he dared respect the great saintly personalities, and this brought him ruination. Etite satkritastena
Itite asattasena
Vija pandita manina
yuja pandita
Manina
manina
bhagnayam bhavya yachnayam
Bhagnayam Bhavya Yachanayam
yachnayam
tasme vidur chukruduhu.
tasme
Tasme Vidur
vidur
Chukruduhu.
My dear Vidur, all got good fortune unto you. The foolish king, who thought himself very learned, thus insulted the great sages. And the sages, being broken-hearted by the king's words, became very angry at him. Hanyatam isha
hanyatam esha
papa prakriti darunaha
papa prakriti darunaha
jivan jagat asab ashu
jivan asapasu
kurute bhasmasad dhruvam
kurute basmatsa durvam.
All the great saintly sages immediately cried, kill him, kill him. He is the most dreadful, sinful person. If he lives, he will certainly turn the whole world into ashes in time. Saintly persons are generally very kind to all kinds of living entities, but they are not unhappy when a serpent or a scorpion is killed. We saw that the sages, even though Vena was being so cruel, was not doing his duties, the sages did not condemn him, but they were trying to give him good counsel. They were trying to explain to him nicely what to do. But now that Vena is not understanding, and in fact, he's twisting the whole philosophy. And he's saying, I'm God, in fact. So the sages are saying, no, kill him. It is not good for saintly persons to kill, but they are encouraged to kill demons who are exactly like serpents and scorpions. Therefore, all the saintly sages decided to kill King Vena, who was so dreadful and dangerous to all human society. So, just so that everyone, all the citizens could be taken care of, the sages, they don't care for their personal well being. They're very concerned about all the citizens. What's going to happen to them? That Vena is not protecting them. That's why they're saying, let's kill him. We can appreciate the extent to which the saintly sages actually control the king. If the king or government becomes demoniac, it is the duty of a saintly person to upset the government and replace it with deserving persons who follow the orders and instructions of saintly persons. So this is a compassion of a devotee, the compassion of the sages, that they want everyone to be well taken care of. Nayam arhati asadvrito
Nayam arhati asatvrito
naradeva varashanam
naradeva varasanam
yodhi yajnapatim vishnum
yo ati yagnapatim vishnum
vinindati anapatrapaha.
vinindati anapatrapaha.
The saintly sages continue, this impious, impudent man does not deserve to sit on the throne at home. He is so shameless that he even dared insult the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. One should not at any time tolerate blasphemy and insults against Lord Vishnu or his devotees. A devotee is generally very humble and meek, and he is reluctant to pick a quarrel with anyone, nor does he envy anyone. However, a pure devotee immediately becomes fiery with anger when he sees that Lord Vishnu or his devotee is insulted. Like how if we see our loved one is being attacked, we immediately want to defend them, go to their honor. Somebody says something bad about someone we are attached to, we immediately want to protect them. Similarly, the pure devotee is completely attached to the Supreme Lord, is completely attached to the other pure devotees. So whenever he hears anyone speaking bad about the Lord, he immediately has that, wants to, out of his natural affection, he wants to protect. This is the duty of a devotee. Although a devotee maintains an attitude of meekness and gentleness, it is a great fault on his part if he remains silent when the Lord or his devotee is blasphemed. So for
One,
himself, a devotee is meek and humble. Yes.
one question. No, but doesn't the sages actually they should take shelter of this Lord, right?
They
Instead
should
of
take shelter.
shelter, yeah, means like take help from Krishna rather than just killing, killing.
But see,
Because
but
that's what like
Krishna
how
also,
Kashipu's time and things like that they would help.
very good. But you see, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, you do your duty. Don't tell me to come and do everything for you. I'm not going to do it. You have to do your duty, but do it for my pleasure. So here it's the sage's duty to protect all the citizens. So that's the reason they're taking action. First, they saw that, there is no king, so there is become thieves and rogues. Then they put Vena on the throne. Now they're seeing that Vena himself is a bigger thief and rogue. So now they are saying they have to do something, all for the pleasure of Krishna. This is the Bhagavad Gita instruction that we have to follow, that we do our duty for the pleasure of Krishna. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what they are doing. Should we stop here?
Yeah, it's 7:40.
Yeah. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and